you absolutely did not see a failed stream go ahead where I tried to start and I got distracted and had to restart the stream. And yes, I realise I'm wearing a Star Wars top, which for some reason is still keying out, even though this is clearly not the same colour as the background behind me. For a Star Trek reaction video that was meant to be broadcast an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. I had to keep delaying it. Hopefully I won't be distracted. There's a distracting thing right there, but also I got to go in 10 minutes, so we'll get on with this. So, Strange New World is back. I have to pay £7 a month, Paramount Plus, to watch it. But as soon as it's gone, I'm going to get rid of Paramount Plus because, frankly, they're being ridiculous. I don't want to get distracted because currently I'm getting distracted, but what are they doing with Prodigy? I don't understand it. What were they doing with Picard? It was really weird because you could watch Picard on Paramount Plus, but you also watch it on Amazon Prime. I guess with Picard it was a pre-existing kind of contract. What are they doing with Prodigy? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just absurd. It baffles the mind. In fact, I mean, if it was another show, it still baffles the mind. But with Star Trek, considering like the show is historically like one of the things it's known for historically is the fact that fans have like forced them to U-turn around things, and we don't take things like this lightly. It's so bizarre. I mean, they haven't cancelled Prodigy season 2. They're just going to put it on a platform, but there's a more inaccessible platform. Certain people are gonna maybe not get it in a way that's gonna benefit Paramount Plus or the people who've created it, and that's not fair, and that's just gonna whatever. Anyway, Strange New World season 2, and I thought I had that. Apparently I hadn't reacted to. Oh no! Or did I do like an entire season like reaction video to the entirety of season 1 of Strange New World because I didn't watch it broadcast. I didn't have Paramount Plus wasn't available at that time, so I had to basically binge it. I was waiting to binge it over like the 30-day month free trial period. So I had to binge it, and then I kind of did a reaction after that. And now, even now, I'm a week late. So this is episode 1, Broken Circle of season 2. Episode 2 was released. I think I'm
Motion detected at the front door.
Alexa, volume 0. Actually, we're 2 weeks late. First episode broadcast on the 15th. Released broadcast in America on the 15th. Might broadcast here a few days later. Although actually, no, I don't think it did. I'm rambling. I'm wasting time. But in any case, I'm a bit late. So we're back to this. Probably tomorrow. Or maybe I hit after. Or I'll be back to the next episode and then we'll be back on schedule. Still need to catch up on New Young Jedi Adventures, whatever the long title is, and Visions of Star Wars, but whatever. Like, probably wear top would be right one to wear. This was the official opening. We would kind of focus on Spock a bit more. Pike is basically in a cold opening in the rest of the episode, so is Una. Una's still under arrest, and Pike's going to speak to her, and they're playing a pro-line game, so we don't know who they're talking about, who apparently is Una's best chance of defense. Spock's given command of supposedly a ship which isn't meant to be going anywhere because it's being, maintenance being done on it. But Khan, what's his name? Lan, yeah. So Lieutenant Singh sends in a stress call with like an imminent amount of war, and Spock is ordered not to interfere because it's too much of a politically charged situation. So he basically steals the Enterprise, which is a significantly thing to do, and we make a big deal out of it when they steal the Enterprise in Star Trek 3. When they go they pretend. I mean, they make a big thing of it there. And this is kind of very similar. I mean, I guess they've also, throughout the original series, done things like, let's pretend that our radio is broken so we can't account for what we're doing, which they don't really do here actually, but they obliquely refuse to answer the call. And it's only because he actually prevents a war, or he doesn't get court-martialed, and probably because, Admiral April likes him. He gets off very, very lucky. Don't get me wrong, I know later on in the career, these characters, they grow into, what Jay describes as more cowboy officers who take risks, and, they get because they've got a lot of trust behind them, and because of the scenario that they're in, they get away with it. It just seems odd that they can get away with it this early in their career. Spock's still a lieutenant. But I guess, I mean, fair. Again, the circumstances, he gets away with it. I just think it's weird that we're still. It's not like canon breaking. I'm not gonna be one of those fans. I'm not complaining. I'm just commenting because that's maybe what my reactions are. That we're using that, but it is a staple of Star Trek, and it's not like mind-blowing that that would happen. So, yeah, they travel to this planet, which apparently because of the outcome of the war, for a bunch of months, Klingons run it, a bunch of Federation runs it, but it's fairly lawless kind of an area, like Nimbus 3. And some people, it's very kind of Star Trek 6, some people don't want this peace treaty, so they're trying to break it by having a false flag operation. It's very, very classical Star Trek, which I know some people like to the point that they hate on Discovery, and I can't stand that kind of closed-mindedness of lack of diversity of how we portray our media. Like, come on, TV evolves, the way we do TV evolves, and if these episodes weren't good, I'd be kind of annoyed that we had taken a reactionary step to have us produce TV like it was in the old days, rather than actual modern way of TV, because TV should evolve. Anyway, so we get introduced, I'm probably talking about Spock, we get introduced to kind of some new developments. Her as an ensign now, so she's been promoted since the last time we saw her. We focus a lot on the bridge crew here because a lot of the main crew have been evacuated. There's a new character who I need to quickly set up the name of in the next 3 minutes, and I'm doing this. Cast. Who here don't take it? Nope. Can work out from the cast list. Mitchell. Who is Mitchell? This character is called Jenna Mitchell, who... Oh! She's not new. I just hadn't recognised her. I guess she has more okay. So Mitchell has more of a prominent role here than she's clearly she did in the previous season, or it stood a bit more in this episode. So she isn't new. But we got Mitchell. So yeah, focusing on the bridge crew. Jesus Christ, words. And they'll have their moments. We focus a lot. Well, there is a new character. It's Commander Pia, who is a Leopard Knight, and that gets brought up. But I'm just checking now. This is the first time that episode has kind of been that species has kind of been brought up. They're identical to human, but they live a long life. Interesting character. Just play like Carol Kane, who do I know the actress? Have I seen her or anything? I think she's Adams. Oh, okay, she's in Adams Family Values. I want to say she's in Princess Bride, right? Yeah, she's in Princess Bride. Yeah. She's quite a funny character actor. I do enjoy her in the ones that I've seen her in, and she's playing a very similar kind of character here. Not similar character, similar kind of character type. Slightly like intoxicated, but yeah, I don't think she's actually meant to be. But it's almost grating, but it is kind of fun at this point. But gosh, I've spent too much time wasting time. I need to bounce. A lot of this episode basically focuses on Spock. And his conflict of emotions, which is consistent with the narrative at this point. We know he's quite emotive when we first see him in the pilot, The Cage of Star Trek, and we know he evolves and he gets to a point where he decides he needs to purge his emotions, but he struggles with it as younger. Spock is a good character analysis of thesis, synthesis, antithesis. His thesis is that he is Vulcan, and he is as Vulcan as his Vulcan brethren, even though he's half human. His antithesis is his human nature, his conflict to that, and his synthesis is kind of what we reach when we reach a Spock of Star Trek 6 of the undiscovered country, where he kind of accepts that he has this emotional element to his character, and he's at peace with himself that he didn't take to the rest of his life. So we're very much in the kind of the beginning stage of his antithesis stage, and we get to explore that here. He's aware that he's got this emotional state. He doesn't want to. He's trying to work out how to control it. Chappelle's a soft spot. It's interesting how they deal with that, because canonically he is still married to T'Pau in Star Trek, and there is a hint of that romance, but it's not like as intense as it is here. So it's not sure if that's like a reimagination of it, and or if it's gonna like be cooled down later on. But clearly, it's got a soft spot for Chappelle. I mean, and, you know, even it doesn't, you don't necessarily have to have a romance or something to blossom for your platonic relationship, but then still be quite intense. So, you know, that's what he has to deal with. He's obviously made the kind of decision to go rogue, and then there's the dilemma that you know, he has that crisis of command where he kind of waits potentially maybe a bit too long before he shoots the other ship, and almost jeopardizes the mission, because he wants to give Chappelle the longest opportunities to survive as possible. He doesn't want to shoot the ship. Luckily, he does fire, and it's enough time to give him to escape. That felt that's very interesting. It's very kind of approach way to tell the story. Chappelle in this has some autonomy, which is mainly there as a catalyst for Spock and Mbemba's. I don't pronounce that name wrong. Mbenga's story. Mbenga gets a bit of that kind of insight. We see that, you know, he has memories of, well, he has experience from the war that he's not proud of, and he's had to relive. They've got this serum that gives him like super strength that he carries around with him, apparently, just in case he needs a bunch of Klingons to escape, and he does. So that's quite an intense scene. I wonder exactly what it does precisely, because, I mean, you can give yourself adrenaline and be stronger, but you're still going to break your bones if you hit the same kind of skull, but whatever. And he has like some really intense dark moments. He almost kills a guy to try in this kind of adrenaline-filled rush, so that's intense. Yeah, it's a strong opening. I think the next episode, from what I've seen of screen caps, is going to be a collar episode, so I'm looking forward to that. I need to bounce. I'm very, very late. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And I will see you tomorrow or the day after. Bye.